Good afternoon, one and all, you beautiful going to Hawaii gangsters. How are you all doing today? It's a little odd not getting a little feedback, but all right. I'm glad you guys got to join us today. I'm going to try a little music and see if it's not too distracting. Can you hear the music okay in the background? Is it how's the volume, the level of the music? Aloha, Diane and Loyal and Cheryl Mack. And Diane, good to see you. Jennifer, good to see you. And Mary and Kath, all of you joining on YouTube and Facebook. Looks like we have, I can't really tell how many. Oh, you know what I can tell? I'll just say how many people we have on YouTube and Facebook. So it looks like there's about, I really can't tell. Anyway, it's like 21 or 22 or so on YouTube or Facebook. Any case, Michelle, good to see you. Thank you for being on the Oliver stream today. That was really good. That was good to have that interaction. I didn't want to, honestly, I didn't want to be a hindrance, and I think we were on there just enough. And I stayed on there just in case you guys would make a comment and highlight going to Hawaii. But I think we did a good job. He has an incredible story. His story is it's admirable what he's done, and there's different views on how he's handling it, but he's handling it the way he wants to handle it. And I think that's part of his charm and appeal to everybody, to be quite honest. Judy, good to see you, and Jill Moore and LC Martin, good to see you, and Kim. Thank you, all of you that are on YouTube and they're on Facebook joining. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you feel it's a worthy production. I would appreciate it. What do you guys think of the openings? The transitions, for some reason, YouTube just makes them very clunky, like a hard cut. But do you like those little snippets in the beginning? Yeah, I saw that, Jill, that you tagged. And I think Cheryl mentioned, at least 500 times. Yeah, I didn't. I stopped mentioning because several of you, Lisa did also. Lisa was on there as well. That was good to see. And Michelle, of course, always good to see. Good to see you on there. I didn't want to be too intrusive, So, all right. So let's get into it. Shane, good to see you, my friend. Hopefully, this doesn't give you too much of your cure for your missing Hawaii. You get to just hear me and see beautiful Lucille on the screen, but hopefully just a little bit, it'll be a little better. What I want to try and do one of the videos again in the background. Do you guys want to do that? I have two videos. I have one for Sharks Cove and one for a walking tour of Haleiwa. It won't be, I don't think it'll be too distracting. If you think it's too distracting, we can always remove it. Okay, if you don't mind, let's just try that. So you can watch something and you'll still be able to hear me, of course. Give me 1 second. And this will just be right from the very beginning. Let's see what spend with us today. We're going to walk the entirety of Haleiwa. How's that? I'll cut that audio down. Do you guys like watching that video, or would you prefer to not watch it? This video here, I like it, but I'll leave it for you guys to vote if you want to leave it or turn it off. But this is a walk that I did at Haleiwa. This was last year, August, I believe it was, where I was at the furthest west point of Haleiwa, and I walked all the way from one end to the other, and I think I walked back as well. Video, yes. Okay, video, yes. Happy to see it. Video's a good idea. Okay, good. So you're not going to see, you're just going to see my stupid hands in there, but you're not going to hear the audio because I don't want it to compete, and even on a low volume. So I'll just have this music in the background. I'll just default from here going forward on all these, unless we have a guest on. We'll have this video playing in the background. We'll just do a different tour each time, and it gets a little bit more interesting after I get my hands out of the camera and I start walking. One of the cool things about Haleiwa, or not cool things, but one of the things to keep in mind is a lot of people, they say, man, we really need to get from Waikiki. We need to get out to Haleiwa. Let's get our or Uber or rental car or what have you, whatever transportation you take out there, and you get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, you realize nothing opens up until 9, and a lot of things don't even open up until 10. So while you may get out there earlier in the day, you're going to be standing around and looking at a lot of closed doors. Now, granted, you can walk all the way to the east side, or more eastern eastern end of this road, and see turtles and walk along the beach or along that the other end of the bay, Haleiwa Bay. But just a point of note of interest, that just to make sure that you don't get out there too early. Okay. All right. Well, I've got a number of things to talk about. We'll blow over a lot of them unless it's something that you really want to talk about. Just a couple of housekeeping things. We are going to be doing this live panel stream each Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, including this one. So it'll be next week on the 9th, and the next week after that. Next week it'll be Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. I am hopeful. I have not asked him about this, but I am hopeful that next week we'll be able to get at least either Wade Fishman, the gentleman that has the Hawaii Jeep Tours, who we're going to, it's like a 99% sure we're going to partner up with him. He'll be giving us, he's putting together a GTH specific tour that's it's a certain dollar amount retail, but he's going to discount it to us just for GTH members, which I think is fantastic. And then he's going to hopefully give us a discount code for all the other tours. In case you don't like the tour he puts together, I'm sure you will, in case there's maybe a tour that you like, has different stops or has different activities or attractions. You'll be able to get a discount code for that. Now, again, that part is not solidified, but I'm going to do my best to get him to do it. And I think he will. And here's the thing, just full transparency. I wanted him to give us 3 of those tours. I'm sorry. I wanted him to give us 3 tours to give away as an incentive, just to help us incentivize you to pay attention to him and his social media posts and to tag him. And I think that's a very fair thing. And I told him after 30 days, if he doesn't feel that you going to Hawaii members or other people who are on the Facebook page, going to Hawaii group, if you're not as active or participating in the contest or getting him the tags or the mentions that he wants, then, at the end of 30 days, he can certainly just pull out. And if for some reason we don't like the relationship as well, we'll do the same thing. But I don't think that's the case. I think we've done a very, very good job in selecting our members, our partners. And I will tell you this too. I know that some of you said, why don't you get these people and that people? The only people that we haven't been able to get was Blue Hawaii Tours and Rainbow Helicopter Tours, only because they're just completely booked up and they don't want to give any seats away. They rarely fly a helicopter where there's a missing 1 or 2 seats, as many of you, Janet will probably be able to attest to that. But I had 2 tour people just today reach out to us to give us a deal. They wanted us to, bring them on as a partnership, but we want to be very, very selective. We will get many, many more activities, attractions, and tours as we get closer to, and once we launch the website, because then we can really facilitate them and manage them much better. So that's coming up. But one thing I want to mention about Wade that is, to me, more interesting than his tour business is the fact that he started 808 Cleanup. Now, if you're not familiar with that, you can look up 808 Cleanup on online, and they're the company, as the name indicates, they clean up. They just do. I think they're a nonprofit. Don't hold me to that, but I think they are. See this McDonald's right here that's on the screen? That's one of very few. I think it's fewer than 10 in the world that McDonald's that has approval from McDonald's to modify their logo and their signage. So I thought that's kind of cool. But in any case, I want to do an interview with Wade on next week's live panel discussion. And that will be our inaugural guest panel experience. So I want to bring him on, and I want to have him talk about his tours and other things. But I also want to talk about the 808 Cleanup, because I think that is just amazing that he does that. It's just a great thing. I really do appreciate that he does that. And then I have 2 other people. I don't want to mention them right now, but I can mention them next week. that we will get them on the following weeks. I really think that it'll start rounding out this panel discussion, be a little bit more of a production, a little bit more interaction with uh, I don't want to say guest hosts, or just guests, really all they are, that are not members. So, but on that note, if you want to be on the stream today, after we're through doing all this nonsense, the updates and going through a couple of the events and things coming up, you're more than welcome to join. The topic I want to talk about today are going to be ways to save money, your favorite hotels. Was there a favorite experience that you had? Even those are topics that we talk about often. Each person will have their own interaction and their own spin on it. And frankly, those are the things that people that are coming to Hawaii want to talk about. You know, how to save money, where to stay, where to eat, things to do. You know, but if there's another topic that you want to discuss, then by all means, let me know what it is. Right here on the screen, I'm actually just now walking over the. It's a short bridgeway, but if you look right over there to where the camera's going to pan left to the again, that's the Haleiwa Marketplace, and I did jaywalk there. That's a Haleiwa Marketplace. It's going to be right there on the right. That is a decent place to park if you can not get caught by the security guard, which is what I did. I paid him. I think I paid him $20. But you can go into that marketplace there, go into one of the restaurants, get a to-go meal, or go to the coffee shop there, which is a great coffee shop, and get a coffee and leave your car there for just a little bit. It's just a little bit tricky. Be very careful. Be very careful about just doing that. Because he tows cars at his discretion, as he should. Okay. All right. So a couple of housekeeping things next week, or no, the YouTube challenge, the views and comments challenge that we have going. It's on. It's posted at the top of the Facebook page and the Facebook group page for you to give views and posts to the last week's, or comments to the last week's live stream on YouTube. We're going to tell you can comment and do a view at least once a day, and then we're going to take all those people and do a drawing on Saturday the 12th, and we're going to announce that winner on Saturday the 13th. So not this Saturday and Sunday, but next Saturday and Sunday. You have between now and till then to do a comment, any of that either of those activities or both are very well welcome. If we get over 1,000 views, well, let me back up. The winner, the one who will be winning, they get their choice of either two $25 restaurant gift cards at just about any restaurant of their choice. We put a list of, I think, 7 restaurants, which is Bocancino, Aloha Amigo, Duke's, Lulu's, Prime Rose Cafe. So you'll get two $25 gift cards at any 2 of those, those 2 restaurants. Or you could get 2 catamaran passes, and the 2 catamaran passes are really, really good prize. If we get over 1,000 views, we'll choose 2 winners. Okay, so hopefully that's not too much information, but you could go on, look at the post, and sort it all out. Already talked about Wade, and then 2 other people that we have. 2 other people that we have coming up that are very, very, very strong, probably 99% okay, is that are going to be partners, is the Kaneohe Picnic and Kaneohe Sandbar. I think it's called Kaneohe Sandbar Picnic Tour. And there's several tour operators over there, and they have them different names. But essentially what it is, if you've not done it before, look it up online. We've had a number of posts on the Kaneohe Sandbar. It's beautiful. It's just spectacular. When the tide is right, you can go out and you can either stand on the sandbar or stand on the sandbar and you're underwater a little bit, maybe a foot or 2 or 3 inches. But the water clarity is magnificent. There's fish all around. There's the occasional sea turtles, 2, 3, 4, 5 turtles at a time. They set up a picnic. They have live music. And again, the different tour operators do them different ways and different setups, different times of the day. But we're going to partner up with one of them. And hopefully by this time next week, we'll have that all solidified and we'll make that announcement. So I just wanted to mention that to you. All right. Do you guys want to go over events real quick? Just a list of events coming up in in July and August.
July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August. July and August
last few. Oh yeah, Shane, you're doing a great job. I really do appreciate that. You're doing very very cool. No. Two gift cards to two different or one gift card to two different restaurants. So one 25 at Duke's, one $25 at Aloha Amigo. Within a year, you have to be coming within a year, 365 days from today. So if you're not coming between July 1st and this year and July 1st of next year, then you know you can play. But the problem is that only the catamaran passes are on a year notice. But the gift cards are going to be forever. I mean, I guess it could be anybody could win as long as you choose the gift cards for the restaurants. All right. And if you asked a question and I missed it, just ask it again because I wasn't really watching the comments. I was going over something else here. All right, here are the best or the highest level events coming up in the coming months. Ocean Fest is going to be July 19th, and Ocean Fest is a really really cool event. There's a lot of things that go around. It's not just the one single event, but that's July 19th. On August 15th to the 24th, I'm sorry, 15th to the 24th, it's Duke's Ocean Fest. Duke's Ocean Fest is quite an amazing event. They have surfing competitions, multiple classes of surfing competitions. They have the dog surfing, which is one of the most popular. We did that last year. We live streamed that last year. We'll do that again this year. They have volleyball tournaments, high level volleyball tournaments. But Duke's Ocean Fest, it pretty much centralizes right behind Duke's Kahanamoku's statue there on Kalakaua. That's really where it centralizes around. But there's a lot of other events that splinter off from there. On August 15th to the 17th, I know this is going to make not upset people, make them a little jealous probably. But the Made in Hawaii show is August 15th to the 17th. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is that huge event that takes place at the Hawaii Convention Center. If you've never been there before, you really need to go. If you have been there before, you know why you need to go. It's really quite an amazing event. It's held at the Hawaii Convention Center. It takes up the grand ballroom, and I'm going to guess, I don't know, 300 or 400 maybe or more booths of everything you can possibly imagine that's related to Hawaii. Food, clothing, stores, retail, tours, activities, music events. There's cooking shows. It's really quite amazing. What Michelle said, not sure how to watch two streams of comments. I'm not sure what that means. Yes. So that's the Made in Hawaii. Also on the 15th to the 17th is the Made with Aloha show. And what you'll find out, and I'm sure this is not a surprise to any of you, is that when there is a major event like that, there's splintered events that come off to the side. And I think that Made in Aloha show, I believe it's either at Ala Moana Mall or Blaisdell. But the main event that weekend is going to be Made in Hawaii. That's just a really, really great show. And I believe that Janet's been there before. I believe that I know that Waikiki Wendy Silva loves that show. I'm not sure if she's coming this year or not. I don't know if that she's coming or not. Let's see. In August, Sunset on the Beach. That's where they have the movies on the beach. August 30th, they're having another show. They just did Despicable Me this last Friday night or Saturday night. So on August 30th of this next month, they're going to have Wicked playing. And the kids, I don't know if you saw that live stream, but the kids just lose their freaking minds whenever they see that movie on the beach. And a lot of adults seem to like it as well. Also, a movie on the beach in September on the 27th, they're having a movie called If. I don't know anything about that. Do any of you know? I don't know what If is. But I guess it's a very popular show. I'm assuming it's going to be a kid's show, and it's not like It, the horrible horror show. It was actually a good horror show, but I don't think they'll have that on the beach. So that's Sunset on the Beach. August 30th is Wicked. September 27th is If. August 30th, they're having the Okinawan Festival. If you've not gone to the Okinawan Festival and you like any type of Asian food, I know it's specifically Japanese, but that Okinawan Festival is quite amazing. It is really, really cool. And it is also at the Hawaii Convention Center. In September, moving to September, the Hawaii Market Expo. It's very similar. It's less so, but it's very similar to the Made in Hawaii Expo. It's a little bit smaller. It's being held at the Blaisdell. That's September 12th and the 14th. That's the Hawaii Market Expo. It's very much focused on Hawaii products, Hawaii's services, tour operator, not tour operators, but crafts and things of that nature. But that's the Hawaii Market Expo at Blaisdell on September 12th and 14th. Also, September 26th, I know a couple of people who will like this, at the Waikiki Shell, it's going to be Teddy Swims is performing. And I wish I knew more about, I guess I could look it up, but their schedule. But Waikiki Shell, they should have more events out there. I can look it up. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop the flow now. But on the 26th, Teddy Swims at Waikiki Shell, and that just about does it. There's a lot of other small shows. Yes, I actually missed this too. The Ocean Festival on July 19th. That's going to be a Kalakaua Street Festival. That's this month, July 19th. The Kalakaua Street Festival. That's Ocean Festival. Also on September 6th, it's the Waikiki Street Jam. And September 20th is the Aloha Festival. All three of those festivals, and I think there's one other one in between there in August, but it's not associated with the company that usually does the festivals there. But July 19th is Ocean Fest. September 6th is Waikiki Street Jam. And September 20th is Aloha Festival. All those, again, are on Kalakaua. They shut the street down. They'll have live music, crafts, gifts, and a lot of really, really good food. Many of you already know those know about those street festivals. Jackie, all right, good. Yeah, if you guys are on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, go over and give YouTube a little bit of attention if you would. That'd be very helpful. Give it a like and a share, a comment if you would. All those things are better than money. I appreciate it. Which picture is so small? Are you talking about the video, or are you talking about Lucille's picture here on the right-hand side, left-hand side? Oh, Michelle says the If is a kids movie about imaginary friends. Well, I should probably go watch that then. Which picture are you saying is small? The picture of Lucille or the video picture right here? The video picture should be just fine. Diane says she went to Street Jam Aloha Fest last year. Diane. Oh, that's right, Diane. I remember that. I think I saw you there. I'm looking at it. You're looking at it on Facebook. I'm looking at it as well. It's just small. You can actually expand it. You see the two arrows to the right, lower right. Just click it and expand it, and it'll increase the size. And I think on YouTube it may be a little bit bigger. I think it goes full screen or full visual mode, but that's just how it is. I could show a horizontal video, but I don't have that queued up, so I'll have to do that next time. Judy's watching on both. That's very good. Thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job in helping grow the YouTube channel. I appreciate that. So those are the events that are coming up. There's another couple of just points of interest that are visitor and Hawaii related. I want to bring them up. One of the most important is Pig and the Lady. Pig and the Lady is closing down their Chinatown location, but they're going to Kaimuki in October, is it? And I can't wait to find out where they're going to be doing that. I thought for a second they may be doing it at the Chubby's location. I have no indication that that's what it's going to be. But the one thing I do like about it is that there's another restaurant that was in Chinatown that's very popular. What is the name? And they're also going to Kaimuki. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. But anyway, it's becoming a point of fact that Kaimuki is getting to be known as they're a restaurant hub. There's probably 5 really good new restaurants. They have the old established restaurants like Coco Cafe, Koa, Pipeline, Boston's Pizza, Red Brick Oven. What's the Golden Dragon? I think that's the name of the Chinese restaurant. It has dim sum. It's quite amazing. There's a few other that I'm missing. Kimchi, and then Thai Time or Dynamite or Thai something. All those restaurants are great. They're all in Kaimuki. Pig and the Lady's going to be there. I believe it's going to be in October. I think that's really, really good news. We'll definitely have to go there and do a new Let's Eat. Another couple things that are there's nothing, guys. There's nothing I can do on the size of the video. It is what it is. It's not something on my side. If it's too small, click the arrows on the side. It'll make it full screen on your phone. That's the best I could do. And the video quality that we're streaming here, it is how it came across live. So, and it may be a little blurry, but that's all I can do about it. Oh, look at Martina. She says, Pig and the Lady's new location will be at the gleaming glass fronted Civil Beat. Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. That's great. That is a great look. Well, is that the location? Wait a minute. Isn't that where that's where the coffee shop is, correct? There's a coffee shop there. I can't think of the name of it. Yeah. Why'd you mention it then, Nancy? If it's small, it's small. Make it bigger. Enjoy it. Enjoy it that it's coming through at all. Yes, and they are at the farmers market too. They've been there. They've been at the KCC farmers market. Pig and the Lady has been at the KCC farmers market for quite some time. And it's not their full menu, but the things that matter, they have their chicken wings there. They have the French dip. They have the pho. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Really good. How many of you heard about the gondola and zip line proposal for out there at North Shore? How many have heard about that? Let me see. Hang on one second. I wrote a note about that. Oh, yeah. The Kaala Mountain, Mount Kaala on North Shore. How many of you have heard about that? They want to they proposed this in 2019 and it was approved, but they received so much opposition from locals that they're thinking about not doing it. Now the gondola would be similar to what they have in Lake Tahoe or Palm Springs, if you're familiar with that. It would go from the bottom flat area, of course, of Haleiwa and go up to the top or near the top of the mountains, and it would be gondolas, like a cable car that would go up and go down. I do not like that idea. I'm interested in hearing what you think of it. Would you want to see the gondola from in Haleiwa going up to the top of the mountain and down? It'd be a beautiful view, but I'm opposed to it. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Haven't heard about it either. Okay, well, that's good. No, nothing's gone in there, Michelle, as of Thursday of last week, probably Friday. Yeah, no on the gondola. No, wouldn't like it. Lisa doesn't like it. Yeah, the views would be spectacular, but I am absolutely opposed to it. I don't think we need it. There's, around the corner from that is Skydive Oahu. If you want to view, go skydive. There's also a glider port. They take you out on gliders. There's also an airport, obviously down at the regular airport. You can rent a plane. You could rent, do a helicopter. Yeah, see, nobody likes the gondola ride. Nobody likes the gondola. Because I think it will I know it will interrupt that whole area. I think that's just bad. It's just a bad thing. Yeah, take a glider ride. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't go on it if it became an issue or a reality, but who knows? We're not ready for it yet, but if there's any of you that want to come on, come on the stream. You don't have to come on camera. You can if you want, or you can just have your avatar on there, like I have little Lucille right there. And we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I want to try and focus on, what you would normally talk about anyway. Hawaii travel tips, your favorite restaurant, least favorite restaurant, favorite hotel, your plans for coming to Hawaii, or if you just came back. I know that Steve, he's probably still crying from his trip, getting back from his trip. And I definitely, I can relate to that. Aloha, Lisa. I saw you on this stream earlier with Oliver. Thank you for doing that. Patty, aloha. Good to see you again, Diane. And without an E, yeah, no, on the gondola. Not interested. Sandy's not. I'm not either. There's too many other things that can be done, and I just think that would just be, too intrusive. Hello, Wendy. How you doing? You missed all the festivals. Ocean Fest on July 19th, September 6th, the Waikiki Street Festival, Aloha Festival, September 20th, Aloha, or August 15th through the 17th, the Made in Hawaii. Are you going to be here for that? Waikiki, Wendy Silva, the Made in Hawaii show. They're also having the Made with Aloha show at the same time. Aloha, Bob, Mr. And without an E. Wendy Silva, you should come on. Tell us your travel plans. But if you want to come on, I'm going to send a link. Give me 1 second. I'm going to send a link. I'll put it in the comments. If you want to come on, feel free to. If not, no problems. It's almost better to not have anybody if you feel forced to come on. I want you to be natural for you guys. Hello, Aussie Nightmare. If you guys have been out to the North Shore anytime in the last quite a few years, you've seen the wind turbines. I think those wind turbines, I know it's, for some reason, it becomes a political issue, which I think is a dumb thing, but those wind turbines are the most hideous, and they're almost never working. They're almost, there's probably 40 of them, 30, 40 of them, and they're just barely turning. I know they develop some energy, but for the amount of money that it takes to build them, transport them, install them, maintain them, and then when they come down, the amount of energy it takes to dispose of them, which you can't really dispose of them, they're all steel. I think it's a net gain, if not a negative gain. I just don't like them. And I think that my point of that is that if you go down around on North Shore, around by Turtle Bay, it's just they're just eyesores to be sticking out like that. Just eyesores. I just don't like that. And the point I was bringing up is, it's going to be the same thing with gondolas. They're going to have, big old posts sticking up. It's just going to be intrusive. And I think it's just going to really negatively impact the flow of that beautiful area. One other thing that's of news interest for travelers is, and I know none of you are going to like this, is the in January 2026, the VAT tax is increased, or the TAT tax is increasing. Hawaii, which I don't understand why they did this, they were the first and only state to approve the climate change tax increase, where they are going to tax transient travel. So people which are you, by the way, you're a transient traveler. The transient travelers are going to be it's going to be increased 0.75%. So from 10.25%, which it is right now, it's going to increase to 11%. And they're saying that 0.75% tax is going to go towards climate change and climate change management. I have a few views on that. I won't say what they are, but it doesn't matter. So those are going up. And one other thing, so you're going to look forward to be paying more. I also have heard in January 2026 that a number, and I don't know which hotels, I can probably name them or guess, they are going to be increasing their resort fees. which I know those are such a pain for everybody. The resort fees are just a horrible, horrible tax. I was around when they very, very first did them. I've mentioned that a number of times. When Hilton Hawaiian Village did their very, very first, they were the first hotel here, first major hotel to do a resort fee. I'm sorry, I think I said resort tax, a resort fee, and it's just a way to hide fees because some of you people that are maybe younger in your 20s or so that weren't aware of it, you thought resort fees were around forever. They weren't. They just came up with it as a way to really just pad the revenue. And I have said this all along. I do believe this. I believe that a hotel should advertise no more resort fee and just put it on the top of the fee. I think that it would be better consumed or understood and accepted by the consumer if they just said, all right, your room rate is $25 more a night, or $35 or $45 more a night, but you don't, and what you're paying for, as opposed to hiding it in a resort fee. Because what ends up happening, if you think about that, the resort fee is $65 or $55, and it lists all these amenities. And if you look at the amenities, there's several of those amenities you may or may not even use. You may say, oh, I don't eat breakfast, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. So a certain amount of that implied value, that $65, let's just say, is wasted money. How as opposed to if you just raised your room rate $45 a night and just were straight with the consumers, I personally think the consumers would look at that more favorably. What do you guys think? I think no resort fee, and put it on the room, but don't use this whole $65 because not everybody uses it, and just do away with the resort fee. What do you guys think? Do you think yes resort fee or no resort fee? Yep, that's exactly what it is, Diane. And I'll tell you something else. And this is probably not a popular topic, but you know me, I'm not I'm not shy about it. When the hotels are not ran by Hilton brand doesn't run it. They manage it. Hilton, it's not owned. None of the hotel, I mean, probably 90% of all the Hilton hotels, Marriott as well, Starwood, Sheraton, uh, uh, Marriott, Hilton, Starwood, Sheraton, what have you, they're not owned anymore by the hotels. Very, very few are owned. They're usually managed or they're franchised, and then they have a separate company that manages it when it's franchised. I remember when this kid jumped off the bridge there. um, when there is an issue with the hotel, like a strike, or there's a catastrophe, a burn, a fire, or flooding, or something like that, there is no way that the hotel management company or the owners, which are usually REIT funds or insurance companies or unions, they own the trust, they own the hotel themselves. They will not lose money. They just put a few more dollars on the top of the room rate. So when you see that, like for example, we had the union strike, which is a bad deal for a number of people around the horn. The resort themselves did not lose a dime. So if you say, well, these people are striking for 10 days, 20 days, 50 days, they're losing a ton of money. Trust me, not only did they not lose money, they probably used it as a case to make money. And they just said, you know what, let's just go across the board with a 0.25% or 0.5% increase that you, as a consumer, probably didn't even notice, but you were paying it. And they did not lose money. That's an absolute fact. And I think that's going to be the case with these resort fees and these VAT tax and all these other taxes that are going on. No resort fee, no resort fee. I would rather pay a little bit more on the room fee, honestly. Sounds like you guys are of the same thought. Uh, let's see. Was there anything else that I missed? I see that Janet's on there. Waiting. Let me see. All right. There were a couple things I just want to go over real quick. I want to go over with uh, some ideas and a couple of links that I found this past week about ways on saving some money and things. Well, I want to do that one last. Let's see. Here's the top. Before I get into the money saving type things, here's a couple of thoughts I had. What are your thoughts on vacation ownership and timeshare? Are any of you a part of a timeshare or vacation ownership? And if so, do you like them? And would you recommend them? I'll just let you go on the comments. I have somebody that I want to bring on. It won't be next week for sure, and maybe not the week after that, but within the next 3 or 4 weeks, I have someone who is very well versed in vacation ownership on the consumer side, or they're well versed on both sides, but they're an advocate on the consumer side. They've sold them for a long time. If they're on the consumer side, I'd like to know what are your thoughts on vacation ownership and timeshares? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Just if you want to in your comments, just say maybe why you don't like them or why you do like them, why you do or why you don't like them. There are a couple money saving things that I found out this last couple of weeks. A couple of them I knew about them already, and I'll just point them out, and then we'll bring Janet on. There's a company and a website. It's a really shanky looking website. It's not that great looking, but there's a company that's like that called Vacations to Go, and vacationstogo.com, unless they redesigned their website just recently, it's one of the most outdated, ugly, horrible websites, and it's all about cruise ships. It has nothing to do with hotels, but it's called Vacations to Go. But they are a clearinghouse for cruise ships, and the reason I bring it up is they are extremely reputable. They do a great job. I know someone who goes on cruises 5-6 times a year, no kidding, and they just get on their wait list and they can get a cruise for like 90% off if they're willing to go within a 3 days notice. And I'm only telling you that because I wanted to give you the setup of what Vacations to Go is, but their website is horrible. It's a very good service. But what they do is they take phone calls, and they have a huge bank of operators. And because the cruise demographic is usually older, they want to talk to somebody, and they do a great job. I'm telling you that because this website is called athotel.com, athotel.com, not hotels with an S, but hotel.com, athotel.com. Athotels.com with an S is a Japanese company for hotels. You don't want to go there. But this company, At Hotel, and I've actually tried this a couple of times yesterday, they have like up to 40% off on some of their hotel rates. And so I joined up and I did a fake reservation. And I mean, the rates were really pretty darn good. I don't think I saw 40% off, but there were 25% off on rates. So it's at hotel, HOTEL.com, at hotel.com. I'd like maybe one or two of you guys, whenever you get a chance, not right now, of course, but just give it a look. Let me know if you like it, if you don't like it. But again, I gave that whole long dissertation about Vacations to Go. So maybe if you go there, that is a for sure legit company. This At Hotel, it just looks really funky. It's just not a really well designed website, but give it a shot. They say they have up to 40% off. They have coupons. They have, a number of cool features on there. So give it a shot. Also, another, and I'm sure many of you know about this, is called Nerd Wallet, Nerd Wallet, NERDWALLET.com, Nerd Wallet. Nerd Wallet, they have a lot of savings for a lot of things, banking, checking accounts, mortgages, what have you. But they have a travel section, and I really like some of their savings, and they mentioned a lot of things we do, like join all the mileage groups, all the hotel, opt-in emails for the hotels, but they actually have some really good offers on there from time to time. So Nerd Wallet is something I found it was really good. And then the last thing is the time of year that you come. If you go into shoulder seasons, which typically are April, May, and September, October, that's usually right before and right after summer. That's why it gets its name, shoulder season. So April to May, September to October, those are times when historically, now it depends on, there could be things that happen in the world, wars, economies that make the prices go up or down. There's no guarantees, but those are predominantly the 2 months on either side of the summer that are the best times to go. Also, another time is the week after Thanksgiving and the first week of September. So primarily the 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, in my opinion, are some of the best times of the year to come, and they're also the lowest price times of the year to come. So I just thought I would mention that. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. Let's try and bring on Janet here. Janet, are you ready to go? Thumbs up. All right, good deal. Here we go. Hello, Janet. How are you?
Hi, guys. How's everybody?
We're all doing well. There's a lot of people. We have 80. I don't know if it's 81 likes. I think we do 81 likes and 66 views. That's good. That's good for a panel discussion. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit because getting your audio and the music is probably a little too much. All right. Cool. All right. So how you doing, Janet? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm good.
There's almost no delay. I like that.
Yes,
Almost
I
no
do.
delay. I'm going to turn. Let me turn my. I'm going to watch here. I'm going to turn my audio down, but I want to see how you guys are seeing it on my mobile here. Yeah, that video is. Are you watching it on your computer, Janet, or your tablet, or your mobile, or what?
I have two tabs open on my computer, one for Facebook, one for YouTube, and the third tab I'm now on StreamYards, and then I have my phone to the side on silent. But
look at you, the engineer. That's right. Good deal. But that video looks okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's not so small that. I mean, I think if you close out the comments, I think if you close the comments, you can make it bigger. I don't know. Anyway, I like how it looks. It looks fine. I'm on a fire breathing laptop with a big old connection, so I'm good. Everybody's saying hello. Hello, Jackie, Cheryl, saying hello to Janet.
Nancy. You bad.
What did she say? Why? What's she saying?
She's just bad.
Is she upset?
No.
Is Nancy upset?
She just better not turn into a snitch is all I can say. Oh, geez.
What? Oh, Snitch is a good name. Snitch is what?
Yeah,
Snitch
Nancy,
is Michelle.
Hopefully Nancy's going to stay nice Nancy.
Oh, she mad because of what I said to her about that? Well, she said it's small, and I told her how to fix it. She goes, I know. I go, well, then why'd you mention it? It's like eight people in a row said, it's too small, it's too small. I told her about it. She goes, well, I know that. Well,
I'm watching the comments best as I can.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't pay attention. I like Nancy. Nancy's a killer.
I know. I can't wait until she's all better and can go back to Hawaii.
I know. I'm going to set her up. I don't care how mean she is to me and horrible she hurts my sensitive feelings. I'm going to set her up when she comes. So, Shane, how's the withdrawals from Hawaii? Huh? Pretty good, I hope. Do tell Nancy. She's not mad about the picture. Okay, good. All right. So, Janet, oh, that's right. Oh man, I don't ask that question because I know it's going to come out.
I know what
when are you doing? Forget it. Never mind. Is Waikiki Wendy Silva? We all need to shame her to coming on. She's acting. She's pretending like she's working right now, but I don't know.
I don't think she's shameable, by the way.
I know. I don't think so.
You know that.
I don't think so either. So. Yeah, I don't want to ask. Well, I will ask that. I will ask this. There's like three questions I have. I know the answer to the first two, but hey, how about that Pig and the Lady moving?
I know. I did not know that was in the workings apparently for a while.
I didn't know about it either. But I'll tell you this. Chinatown is not that far away from Waikiki, but this Kaimuki seems much more achievable, much more accessible, and it's really not that much closer, but I'll go there much more often, I believe.
Yeah. Now, how far is from Kaimuki from Waikiki? I know that you walk it a lot, but I don't think I'd be able to do that walk. Is it like a 10-minute car drive or what?
Yeah. It's about a 10-minute car. Yeah, it's about a 10-minute car ride.
And the trolley doesn't go anywhere near there, right?
No.
Yeah.
The closest it goes to KCC Farmers Market area or KCC Community College. That's the closest that it will go.
And then it's still a little bit from there, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's about a mile from there. And
All right.
it's just not I'm looking here real quick. It's not an easy. Yeah. It's an 8-minute drive from,
Okay.
8-minute drive. And it's about, I would say, I'm going to guess. Let me see how far it is. Oh, wow. I was going to say 2 miles. It's 5 miles.
Okay.
Really?
From
From Waikiki, I do everything from International Marketplace. Gee, many Christmas. It's 4.7 miles. When you see it written down, we were going to. Lucille has a doctor's appointment now next Thursday. We usually walk there and walk back. I didn't even notice that. Wow, it's almost 9 miles.
Wow. But Tony, you're a walker, so and
Yeah. Well, and
you
it's
got
not a
it.
beautiful walk. It's not a beautiful walk, and it's a hot walk. I mean, you are on concrete asphalt the entire time. There's no beach, no, very little grass. So it is hot as can be.
Wendy,
Definitely, Judy.
Hang on one second, Tony. So Wendy, I just saw your comment. Make sure you go and make sure you go to the bathroom when you're there, because the bathroom is like amazing. You've got to experience it that once before it closes.
For sure. I wonder if they'll transport that.
I don't know, because I read the whole article and it kind of indicated that it's going to be a cleaner, updated look. So I don't think they'll be replicating that bathroom if that's what they're going to do. But that is really something for anybody who has not been. And if you have the chance to do it before they move out of Chinatown, definitely go and experience that.
Wendy, you're coming on the 17th, you said? What month are you coming? September? Yeah. I hope it's September. Linda, we were talking about walking from Waikiki International Marketplace to Kaimuki for the Pig and the Lady. But Lucille's doctor's over there, so I go there probably every 60 days about to do her checkups. When are they closing? In October? They're closing out October. Is that what they said? Or they're opening up new?
Opening in October.
Oh, shoot. So they may be. You're coming August, Ocean Fest. Son of a. Okay. Well, didn't you go to Pig and Lady when you were here last time in Chinatown? I know I've asked this and I didn't see if someone answered. When are they closing the location in Chinatown? Does anybody know? Yeah, you have to take pictures of the bathroom. Yeah, I've done all the other islands, but I'm not as proficient with live streams over there. Obviously, I've not done any over there. I did on Maui years ago, but it's just because I'm here located on. But I think on the 16th of August, I may try a trip to Maui for about a month and a half, 2 months. I'm teasing. I don't want to say, I say that in jest, but some people take it as serious. But I will be going to Maui. You do have my promise. I will be doing Maui this year for sure, 100%. Oh, I think, he may have already. August 22nd. John says it's August 22nd. He thinks that's when they're going to be closing down. Do you guys see the video where I am right now on Haleiwa? I'm at the far east end of the Haleiwa town, and right there where I'm pointing, if you ever want to see a guarantee of turtles, that's it right there. Where that little mound, you see that little reef where the wave is breaking over the top. There are turtles out there almost every single time. And I think this is the stream where the lady let her dog out, and her dog went over and was trying to bite the turtles. Do you remember that, Janet? Or did you watch that stream live?
Yes.
Yeah. And the turtles were just getting away. I mean, on the beach, turtles have nowhere to go, but in the water, they just jet away from them. Linda is asking, is anybody coming in September? I'm assuming you're coming in September. Did you hear the events that are happening in September? There's quite a few. So Janet, for your stay in Pacific Monarch, would you stay there again on your next visit?
I would.
You're just cut.
I would. I haven't booked anything yet because I've been waiting for information. Tony, I have to book something soon. I don't want to miss out on good fares and good prices. So,
you know what? I would rather you do this. Book it towards best in your best interest, and we'll do a pseudo meetup like we did before on whoever's here. That's what I would do. Do it best of your ability, and then we'll make something happen around those days.
Deal. Okay.
Crystal, do you mean Kauai? Yeah, I love Kauai. I love Honolulu Bay. I love all that area over there in Princeville. Love those two golf courses. They're most beautiful over there. Shane, waiting. Oh, you're not coming back out here for them anyway. I'll pick a date. Oh, my goodness. December 31st. Oh, you're coming out. Did you purposely do it on 21st for the New Year's Eve? That's a perfect time to come out here. The Christmas decorations are left up. Early. December is also a beautiful time. They want to know, where do you look for fares? Janet, where do you look for your airfares?
I go direct to the airlines. I do United and I do Hawaiian Airlines. And then I juggle between the two. And then I have to juggle, is it a connection? Is it nonstop? And then if it's a nonstop, is it out of Newark? Is it out of Kennedy? And then there's the $550 additional ground transportation if I choose Kennedy. So it's a whole thing. But I do the best I can. And that's why if there's a good fare, I want to try and jump on it and, make it happen. Make Hawaii happen. And and of course, with the hotels, that fluctuates daily. Seriously, I've been doing like every day for the last 2-3 weeks, and it's amazing how much it fluctuates. And there's a lot
the hotel
in advance. Yeah, the hotels. And if you book well in advance, you can get those. I don't know what it's called. A lot of them call it different stuff, but it basically means you booked in advance and you're staying for like 2 weeks at least.
Yeah.
And it's a special rate, and I want to try and get some of that and see what happens. So, and then of course I always call and book direct because that way you eliminate the middleman problems.
Yeah. Well, that's something we talked about a number of times. If you go to hotels.com or booking.com, you get one of their packages. Even though oftentimes it is less than booking direct, man, all you need is one little thing to go wrong, and a Hawaii vacation is not the time you want it to go wrong. But if it goes wrong, you are not always, but you're almost out of luck in trying to get them to remedy something for you. Yeah. And the first thing you do is you call the hotel or the airline, and the hotel and airline say, we don't have it. You booked a third party. You need to go through them. Yeah. So, I see it from both sides, but I would, and I'll be honest, I actually do mostly book through booking.com because I'm just willing to gamble, because the worst thing that's going to happen for me is that I have to stay over night or day or two or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. My schedule's flexible. I could do, pretty much anything. So, yeah. But I understand how many of you, actually, that'd be a good thing to ask. Using a 1 or 2, put in a number 1 if you book direct for the airlines, or a number 2 if you go through like hotels.com or booking.com. So type in a 1 if you go direct, or a 2 if you go through a provider. An affiliate is what they're called. Direct. Wow, that's crazy. Direct. Wow, I would have never believed that. I would have gambled and said the exact opposite. Now, why do you guys do that? Why do so many of you book direct? Is it because of what Janet said? Is it because of the impending doom if you don't, or if you do have an issue? That's crazy. Sandra's number one, Cheryl number one, Ann without an E number one, Julie number one, Crystal, Jill. Wow. Oh, you have a travel agent. We've had a number of travel agents try and get on to the group in a sneaky way. I know who they are and what they do. I kind of let it go. But yeah. Here's another one for a one or two. Is it any different when you book a hotel? Do you if you book direct to the hotel, put in a number one. If you book through an aggregate website like a hotels.com, booking.com, put in a two. So one if you book direct with a hotel, or two if you book through an affiliate. Yeah, I cannot change anything if you ask. Yeah, Shane's right. You can't change anything. Wow, look at that.
Let me tell you a story about what happened when I booked one time. I booked through hotels.com because it was like such a good deal and such a good rate. And it was late at night and it was like after a stream and I was like blurry eyed and I was like, oh my God, I should jump on that because it's such a good deal. So I did. I booked it. And it got the standard thing, you got 3 days before that you could cancel it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'm good. So I booked it. And because I was like half asleep when I did it, I never even wrote down a confirmation number. I didn't write down anything. And I just knew that I had
wow.
something, and I figured, well, I have, till 3 days before to cancel it if I want to cancel it. Long story short, all this time goes by. I find something else. I book something else. And then I go to cancel that original booking through, it was booking.com, by the way. And
booking.com.
I couldn't find it. So I called the hotel and I said, I want to cancel that booking. And they said, oh, well, we can't cancel it because you booked it through Expedia. It looks like you booked it through Expedia. And I said, really? And I said, well, can you give me their phone number? And they were like, yeah, sure. Here's a phone number. Call them up and cancel it. And they said, here is the number that we show as their booking number. So they give me this confirmation number. I called the Expedia number and they were like, we don't have it.
Sorry.
We don't have it. And I was like, what do you mean don't have it? They just told me, here's the Expedia number. She goes, our numbers don't start with that. So now I'm like, oh, geez, now what? So I go on booking.com website looking for my reservation. I can't find it. And I'm like, now what? So I went through this whole thing, couldn't get through to anybody at booking.com to help me look for it. I wound up losing a one-night deposit because I could not cancel it with the original thing I booked it with. Nobody had a copy of anything. So don't do it. I will not do it again ever. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly why there's that problem. I mean, you just can't, there's nothing you could do. I mean, back in the day, using hotels.com or being an affiliate of hotels.com, there, is a revenue stream. You can make money doing it. You can set up a website. I've talked about this before. Set up a website. They pay you 12%, and it made you money. You could probably net about 6% after the advertising fees and things like that. But now it's undoable. They pay 5% or less now, and so you see fewer of those websites. But the best thing to do is just buy hotels. Buy the hotel room rates at wholesale rate.
Yeah. But I learned a hard lesson, and I also learned don't go through the middleman. Number one. Number two, don't do bookings at night when you're half asleep and you can't remember anything. Those late streams. I used to stay up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning with your late streams, and I used to be so wiped out. But then I'd start looking for stuff, and so I learned not to do that.
Get you motivated to come, though, doesn't it?
And there's a veteran visitor, folks.
Yeah. This video I'm showing you, I'm at Sharks Cove. I'm across from Foodland right now. I'm just walking down the street to cut over through that little field to go down to Sharks Cove. I think this is the one I did alone. I don't think this is the one where Wendy was with me and the waves were so high. Yeah, am I alone? Yeah, I am. This is the one I did by myself. Yeah. Vivian says she uses VRBO quite a bit and never had any issues. That's great. That's great.
I'm leery about using Verbo or any of those. I just can't get a comfort level yet. I tried it. I think it was either my last trip or the 2 trips ago that I was going to try a condo at the Ilikai because the Hayes had recommended that. And and it was like, it was almost too good a rate to believe and to say, oh, you know. And then when I put in for it, I didn't hear anything back. And I'm like, now what? You know, now what? And then there's all the, you know, the stuff. And it was my first time trying to use it. And it was a turnoff because then there's all this verbiage in the description about if your sink gets plugged up, you have to call the plumber and you have to pay for the plumber. And I'm thinking, really? What happened to the people that stayed in this place? And they probably shoved, you know, banana peels down the sink. And I'm like,
yeah, just to get a repair.
So I was kind of happy that they never got back to me. And then I look it up and I find out they're blocking out weeks, and I couldn't figure out what. So I was like, all right, forget about it. And that's when I said, no, I just went with Pacific Monarch and I'm done. I just didn't have a comfort level with it, you know. So, and I still don't. So I don't know. I mean, I think it works great for a lot of people. I know the Hayes are happy with what they've done there. And there's a few other families that have said, it's just that, I don't know, my first time out of the gate there, I was not happy with, first of all, no response from the owner. And then after that, then I see they're throwing up all kinds of weeks that are blocked out. And I'm like, what's that about? You know? So I figured, well, it wasn't meant to be. So it didn't happen. But I'd like to go and try the Ilikai, one of the condos, at some point when I find one that's somebody else has used exactly that unit and that they know that the owners are good and things are fine. So maybe I'll take that route at some point, but not yet.
Are you talking about the like the marina, the Ilikai Marina?
No,
there
hotel.
To the
hotel. Oh, the Verbo rooms in the hotel.
Okay, I see. Okay, they also have they call them apartment or extended stay. I think that's what they call some of the units there in the marina, the Ilikai Marina condos. I think that's what it is. John and Linda would know.
Yeah,
they would know.
And they've had very good luck and good rates and, you know, good owners and all of that. So, but again, if I could find somebody that has a specific room number, whatever,
unit number,
that they would highly recommend. And if I would go through that owner and get that specific unit, then I would have a better comfort level. But I just don't want to gamble and, you know, wind up thumbing on the street to find another room somewhere.
One of the things that's going to be the good thing about having Waikiki Wendy Silva here. All of you guys are going to have a place to stay if you get in any kind of a bad situation. I mean, that's what she said to me. She said, "Don't mention it to everybody," so I won't. But I mean, I don't want to talk out of turn. But once she gets here, maybe she gets on stream, we could talk about it, and clarify it. But I thought that was nice of her, much nicer than what I thought was going to happen.
Now you're really giving her a reason not to move.
So what are your guys' thoughts on vacation ownership? Maybe one of you, if you want to come on and talk about it, or just in the comments, have you ever bought vacation ownership or timeshare, Janet?
I've not, and I'm glad that I have not. I know for a fact one of our members does have it, and she does not speak highly of it. She said that they drain her completely and they take you to the bank. So I don't know, you know, I don't want to just blast her name out there, but you know, you've met her.
I think one of them, I know one of them here. They actually mentioned, I want to mention her name again, but because they were pretty negative about it. They did it on the stream too. So it was,
So it's not, I don't know. You're so trapped. And even Michelle earlier made a comment and she said, there's so many lawyers that are in the business of trying to help people out of those contracts. That should tell you something.
I was going to say exactly that. There are companies that is their sole purpose to get people out of their contracts. So that we used to produce a lot of the videos for Hilton Vacation Ownership, the grand ownership. We did the Hilton, the one in New York, a bunch of them in Florida. And you could just see when you were producing the video and you got the script back and you're doing the editing and you're reading through it and you read through it, that's why and I'm doing quotes. That's how you get to be a quote expert in anything. You just do a script for a video because you watch it 100 times over and over and over. And I'm thinking they're talking about all the details and all the bullet points and all the things about the vacation ownership. And it is no chance would I do that. And it was it's the video that you watch when you go into one of their units. It says, New York is great and wonderful. Look at all these things. And here's how I would not do it. And as many of you know, here in Hawaii and other places that are very, very travel oriented, they restrict, or they're supposed to be restricting the Airbnbs and VRBOs in only the places of the city that are hotel rich, the hospitality district, and heavy with apartments. They don't want them in residential areas. And I get it. I probably wouldn't want it either,
But what bothers me about all that's going on right now is that there are people who legitimately bought their properties with the intention of short-term rentals, were given the okay for that. And now, especially on Maui, by the way, and now they're telling those people that they have to turn them into long-term rentals. And, I don't know how you can do that. And those people should be grandfathered in. Obviously, they bought with that intention. They had the okay, and now they're just yanking the okay. That's not right. That's crazy. But I think those people should be grandfathered in, and then any future buildings should be limited. But that's not what they're doing, So, and not only that, all of those units usually were built for short term. They don't have washer and dryers and the things that you need on a continual basis. So for them to offer it as a long-term rental, they'd have to redo a lot of stuff, number one. Number two, anybody that's there now that wants housing can rent at the rate that's there now if they want, if they can, but that they're now expecting those owners to drop their rates to a long-term rental situation. I mean, who's going to absorb that? Nobody.
I see it from both sides. I think another option is, let's be realistic. The people that don't want it are the people who live next door, and they don't want to be next door because the tenants in the past have historically been, they're on vacation mode and they're not great tenants. What I would do is I would come in, since there's so many people that are involved in, and frankly, if we post this on the Facebook page, you'll see it's a very divisive comment. A lot of the locals like, you don't know because you don't live here and whatever. And then I would respond, okay, if you were a local Hawaiian and you were gifted a vacation rental place, would you sell it or would you keep it? And almost across the board, I'd keep it, which they should. They make a lot more money. But I would just make it part of the law that if you get 3 complaints in a calendar year where the police have to come out, I guess there's ways to monitor that, then you lose your license. Give them a license to have a vacation rental. So it'd do 2 things. It would put the onus on the owner to be very, very cautious about who they rent to, maybe elevate the price of what their rates are to get out the cheap, cheap younger crowd or whatever, and just force the quality of management of your tenant onto the recipient. Because I can also tell you this, having lived next to people when I was in my place in La Jolla full time, the place across the hall and below me was vacation ownership people, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a couple of reasons. One, because they weren't rented all the time. It was usually on the weekends, and in that case, it was pretty high rent. It was really super expensive. But there'd be 3 or 4 or 5 weeks at a time there'd be nobody there, and it was a ghost town. And I would literally leave my door open, and Oliver and Lucille could run up and down the hall, and nobody would come up to the top floor for weeks. There'd never be anybody up there for weeks at a time. And so I liked it, but I know every situation's not like that.
And then on the weekends when there were people there, you always had a party to go to. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was having it there, and I was actually, honestly, most weekends I was in Mexico, because from my house down to Tijuana was 32 minutes. Literally from my front door down to TJ, crossing the border, it was 32 minutes. So I would go down a lot of times from Thursday to Monday or Friday to Monday for years, 4 or 5 years I did that. So it didn't matter to me. I mean, I would be leaving as they were coming in, and they'd introduce themselves and say, "Oh, we're staying in Unit 4," and da da da. I said, "Perfect. Talk to you later." And sometimes they'd be there when I come back on Sunday night, and that's it. Do you see this video? Let me see. Let me try something here. Let me see if I can. I think I can. I don't want to back it up too much. Maybe. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to back it up too much. But anyway, you see the two people that are there. I don't know if you noticed, but they came shooting out of that hole right there to the left. There's a tube there at Sharks Cove where you can get in when the tide is right, and you go down in there and you come shooting through because the wave goes in and goes out. And the guy was saying, man, he's like, there's a stingray or an eel and a blowfish was in there. And they stay in there because they can get kind of a neutral buoyancy water going back and forth. And I guess fish that they can eat come through there, but it's actually pretty cool. You can get sucked through that little hole there. That's a beautiful place to snorkel. That's not always that calm right there. When the tide is up higher, man, you can get wrecked on that wall right there. Yeah. But if you guys ever want to watch this, this video is on YouTube. Just look up Sharks Cove. If you see where I'm walking, like that reef and area that I'm walking on, if you just go back, well, I'm probably going to walk past it. There's a little pool, and it doesn't look like anything. You just jump in that pool, swim through that hole, and it takes you out the other side. It's only about 25, 30 feet. Now that toilet bowl is where you're looking at right here. Right when I pan left, you'll see I just love that. I could watch that all day. You see where it kind of mounds up. That's probably what I'm talking about right now, where it breathes almost. You see that little on the left there where the water's coming up out of that hole. There's two massive holes. One is much bigger than the other. And as the tide goes down, it gets sucked down. And when it comes up, it just boils over. And sometimes it'll push fish out over the top of that. And then they have to swim over to one of the other holes to get back in the water.
Did you just call it the toilet bowl?
They said they called it a toilet bowl. Yeah, I would not be swimming in that if it was a toilet bowl. Okay, well, does anybody else want to come on? Anybody else want to come on and give their thoughts on any topics that we discussed? I think we did. We covered all the
Tony,
topics.
Can I ask a question of the group?
Sure.
I'm trying to come up with different things to do in my October trip. Now, right now, I want to do 2 weeks. I might extend it to 3 weeks, but I'm not sure yet. And one of the things that I'm thinking of possibly doing, but I want to hear from people who have actually done it and are willing to share information with me. And even if you PM me, I don't care. That's fine. I'm thinking of doing Pride of America, possibly. Depends on what kind of feedback I get from the group. I want to know, do you like it? Was it worth it? I just want to be able to see other islands other than Oahu. And I always go to Oahu because that's where my memories are and that's where I'm making new memories. But I would like to get a feel for the other islands. And I kind of figured the best way to do that would be on the Pride of America, because you do a little bit of something and then you move on to the next one and do a little bit and then move on, etc. So I just want to hear from anyone who has done it. And I'm trying to watch the comments at the same time and talk and see if anybody's done it. Would you recommend it? How is it, with getting a little bit done on the different islands? And let me know. And I might do that in October, and then I'll review it.
Now that you're reading your comments, now just pick up your tablet, walk out the street, go down the corner and tell us everything that's on your right, left, behind you, and in front of you. Then you'll. That's a good question, Michelle. I'll ask her that before we time out. Remind me. I'll make a note of it here. Can I give you my thoughts on that, Janet?
Yes.
My thought would be this. If you had your choice, forget about cost and everything else. You're visiting Oahu. If you forget about the cost, if you had one other island to visit for 2 days, where would you go?
I don't know. I really don't. I really don't, because that's what I don't know enough about the other islands. I don't, you know, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I think you know kind of the things I like to do. I like a little bit of adventure. I like new, different, whatever. And I kind of want to see different new things, but I've not been to any of those islands. And I really don't know anybody that's spent a long amount of time on any of them that could give me good information. I mean, Shane and Yvette were the first people that really gave me a lot of information about the Big Island. And that sounded great, but I don't know if I'd want to do like a whole week there, you know?
Yeah.
And you have to remember, I'm going solo, so it's a whole different thing, you know? I mean, it was great for a couple, but I don't know, you know? And that's why I thought if I do a cruise, I could jump on, jump off, you know, kind of like the trolley on the water type of thing. Just jump on, jump off, and do whatever. Yeah. But
well, I've spent much more time on Oahu, but I've spent months and months and months on the Big Island, Waikoloa Village, Kona, all along those areas. I've done it on Maui and Kauai, a lot more on Kauai than Maui, but I've been on Maui maybe 2 months total, maybe 3 or so, you know, 5 to 7 days at a time. This is what I'd recommend. I don't know if anyone else would agree with this, but this is what I'd recommend. Because you come back 2 or 3 times a year and there's no indication that you'll stop doing that within the next year. So that's at least 2 or 3 more trips. Let's just say it's 3 trips between today and the same time next year, right? So you're going to stay 3 times. I personally would recommend choosing one of those islands and do a 2-day day trip to each of them. And here's why I would say that. Because by the time, and it's a challenge that everybody has with Pride of America, by the time you get to their location, which is 7:30 in the morning, you have to be leaving at 7:30 at night to go to the next island. I think Maui, they're there for 2 days, and the others are 1 day. Maybe, I think at Big Island, they're there for 2 days as well. But the problem is that it's not really 7:30 to 7:30. You get off they land at 7:30, but by the time you disembark, get on your transportation, do your thing, it's maybe 8:30, and it just really eats into your time. Long story short, you're going to have very limited time. Whereas, and you are absolutely on their timeline. If any little thing changes during the day, you're out of luck. You have to be back at 7 o'clock or 6:30, whatever. Now, just think about the alternative. If you're on Oahu and you want to go do a 2-day, we'll call it a day trip for 2 days on Maui. You leave when you want to. You arrive there, you get your rental car, and let's just say you have something you want to do later in the day, but you have from 8 in the morning till, let's just say, 2 o'clock when that tour is going to happen. You can do whatever you want. Go to the beach, not go to the beach. Go to your hotel, not go to the hotel. Stop at a restaurant, go shopping, do what you want to do. Total freedom. And then you do your tour, and then you have all night long. And I know you're an all night long type person, so you can go out to the restaurants or what have you. But I'm telling you, on Maui, 9 o'clock, done. 9 o'clock, it's over. It is over, Rover. If you're lucky, you'll find a place at 10 o'clock. If you're really lucky, you'll find a couple bars that will be open until noon. And I know you're not like Sandy, who stays out all night getting caroused, tattoos, piercings, and things. So she wouldn't like Maui. But for you, you got the whole next day to do whatever you want to do, and you're not on Pride of America. Maybe you met somebody that night, they're telling you about a new thing that you can do. Then you got the entire day to do what you want to do for Maui. And then you come back, and now you have a much better understanding, at least because you drove around yourself, or maybe you took a private tour on Maui. And then when you come back, you've got the rest of your time on Oahu, and you're not scrambling around. Because I promise you, and I've not done Pride of America, but I've done those single day trips where I've had to do a meeting on Kauai, come back to a meeting the next day on Big Island. Not only is it extremely draining, but you forget so much of what you did and what you saw, even if you know the place. So I just think you get a lot more freedom. And then when you come back on your second trip in the year, then you do Kauai. Then you come back on your next trip, you do Big Island. And then after that, you will know intimately which destination you want to go to and spend a lot longer. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
And I would do Maui first. The only thing about Maui is beautiful on the edges. In the middle, it's a little bit not so, you know, not so much. And you want to do things. You want to do things on the islands that they're really known for. I don't know if personally, I don't know if you would want to do the Road to Hana, but if you did the Road to Hana helicopter tour, that is amazing. That's an hour-long tour. It is unbelievable, and you don't get the swervy ins and outs and driving car sickness perspective, but man, you get an incredible view that you will never, ever, ever forget.
And you know, I do the helicopter for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like 425, 395, something like that. It is incredible, and you're done. You've done it. You've done the whole thing. Whereas opposed to if you do the Road to Hana, it's start and stop, turns, 9, 10 hours. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not, you know.
I would probably want to do a helicopter tour on every island, you know, to see it since you have limited time.
I would. I've done 2 on Kauai, I've done 3 on Maui, and I've done only 1 when we were doing the Hawaii Convention Visitor Bureau's video on Big Island. Big Island's big, man. Thanks, Wendy, for repeating exactly what I just said. But I definitely would do the helicopter tour. Wendy, do you want to come on and start giving like available dates for your condo, or do you not have it lined up yet? The helicopter tour on Kauai was incredible. We actually went on, and the guy was an ex-Navy helicopter pilot. It was myself and a guy who worked for me, an associate producer, our AD who worked for me, and they did it was a musically choreographed helicopter tour, and it would be they had like, you know, Izzy, you know, is playing, and they do Somewhere Over the Rainbow and that kind of thing, and then they go down to where the Jurassic Park, and it was just a beautiful. That's the second one I went on. The first time I went on was this guy that was the helicopter, the Air Force helicopter pilot, and it was just me and this other guy's name was Mark, and he goes, so you guys want to do the rock and roll one? You want to do the easy one? And we said, yeah, what's a rock and roll one? And it was Van Halen and Metallica. And I go, people do that here? He goes, yeah, some people do. He says, if you really want to do it, he says, we'll do it right. He says, we'll go on a little bit longer because it's just you two. So we didn't have any consumers or any, you know, civilian type people on there. I know, Wendy, I was just teasing it. So we leave out of the tour there, or the airport there at Honolulu, and this helicopter guy puts that helicopter right on top of these cliffs, and we're just going flat out, and he was choreographing it that when there was a crescendo on Enter Sandman. I know most of you probably don't know that, but it's Metallica. It dropped out the bottom of that helicopter, or the edge of the sequence dropped out. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I would give that the highest rating of any helicopter tour. Even the consumer one we did after that. We went back 2 weeks later and did one just like a consumer would see. And I would definitely give that thumbs up 100%.
And that was on Kauai, you said? Yeah.
Go out of Honolulu Bay. If you go there, if you stay at the St. Regis, I think it is there at Honolulu Bay. It was just Princeville Resort when I was there. Man, you are going to be so disconnected from, well, the resort itself is beautiful. There's just before you get into it, it's very much, it's very much like, it's just like Turtle Bay. So you drive in a long driveway, and there's condos on either side. Spectacular. One of the best golf courses in the world, frankly, the Makai and the Prince. And if you get an opportunity to walk along the Prince golf course, along the sea cliffs there, it's otherworldly. It is unbelievable. You're just, mouth is open like, I cannot believe this is I'm seeing this. I want to just read this real quick before it scrolls away, and it just did. I think she says I did. Julie says I didn't Pride of America. She says I did Pride of America many years ago. I loved it. We were able to get a taste of each island. We returned 1 year to Kauai and Oahu. Then we came back another time, spent a week on Maui and Oahu. It is spectacular cruising past the Pali Coast. I think that'd be kind of cool. You should do that if you go on Kauai for sure. The Pali Coast in the evening, and Kauai, we did the tour called Heaven and Earth. Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, heaven and earth. I think that's probably it. Over the island and the road trip, which includes a lunch. Many of the friends have done it a number of times. We're considering doing it again. But I really would. I would just do a day trip. And then go to Big Island, do the day trip, go to Mauna Kea. I'm telling you, Janet, if you're able to, as much as you can, project when you're going to go, make sure the forecast is as clear as possible. I'm telling you, it'll be top 5 events you've ever had in your life. Just it's incredible, unbelievable. And I think Shane did it, didn't Shane? Didn't Shane and his wife do?
I think so.
Or was it? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap this up. I think we covered a lot of stuff here. Before we go, because I'm going to close out with Janet. What did you guys? I don't know if you guys even picked up on it, but I kind of had a segmented events. Did you guys like that, where we went through events in the beginning, then tips and updates on stuff? It's.
I did.
I'm trying to get down to format. Did you like that?
Yes.
Okay. I know it's a lot of me talking, but until there's someone else on the panel, it's not a back and forth. But if you guys like that, put in a 1, or if you want to see it a little different, if it was too much repeated information from our live streams, then let me know. Yeah, Nepali Coast is an absolute. Can you please ask a random question about waterproof slings? Slings for snorkeling. What is she talking? Oh. Cheryl Mack asked a question. She goes, can I please ask a random question about waterproof slings for snorkeling? Some reviews have said that their phones won't turn on any. Actually, Janet would be a great one to talk to about that. Janet, did you understand what she was asking? The waterproof.
No, I don't.
The waterproof, not lariat, the thing you had around your neck. You had a waterproof package. She says she's looking for recommendations. She finds that some people say that their phones won't turn on. Any advice? I know you're familiar with that.
That's the problem I had, as a matter of fact, when I did the Turtle Canyon. I had my phone all loaded and everything. That's why I'm working on a post of the Turtle Canyon as we speak. And
oh, good.
I had to do some screenshots of your stuff because my phone wouldn't turn on once I got in the water. And the reason is because the water was not as warm as you think it's going to be. And your phone goes by the heat of your hand. And by the time you get through that, and it was wonderfully waterproof. It was no problem with that. But I couldn't get it to turn on no matter what I did. And even trying with my knuckles instead of my fingertips, I couldn't get it to turn on. And I was really upset about that because I went through this whole thing. I have, I think, 3 or 4 different waterproof pouches that I've used for different things. And I was so sure this one was going to be the best. It had the most secure strap. And I figured I'm going to be busy. I'm, going to want to just grab right away. And then I get in the water and I'm trying to, take a picture of a turtle, and poof, it would not turn on. So I had to, take a deep dive and look for pictures on the internet to share, because I wanted people to see what I saw when I was there, And those waterproof pouches, you really have to, when you get one, first of all, you do the test. The test is you stick a tissue inside, you seal it, and you dunk it in the tub or, a sink or something full of water. You let it sit in there, you move it around, then you take it out, you dry it. Then you open it up and you see if the tissue has any kind of moisture at all. That's the test. And I've done that with every single one I've gotten. And then my suggestion at this point is dunk it in cold water and try and turn it on and see if it works. So, because I was really bummed when mine wouldn't turn on. So that's, other than that, just, get a GoPro, a waterproof GoPro, and rent one and, go from there. I wish I had done that at this point, but, Monday morning quarterbacking, here I am. So that would be my suggestion. And, you can buy them all over the place. You can buy them at dive shops. You could buy them. You can get them on Amazon. I mean, there's so many out there. And, I would say go through Amazon, order it. If you don't like it, send it back. It's that easy.
that last part in particular is really, really good. If you're coming to Hawaii and you're going to take your phone out in one of those lanyards, thank you whoever said that, corrected me on what that was, a lanyard for sure. If it were me, I would get a GoPro.
Yeah.
But you can also get the Sports Pro. There's another one called Action Cam, and they're probably $190 for the really cheap ones. But again, I know you're not wanting to take on another $300 expense. However, if you bought a GoPro, you don't need the Black 13 or the latest version. You could get a 9 used, and for what you're going to use it for, they're going to be superior to any iPhone you're going to get down. And I think they're safe to 2 atmospheres, which is 66 feet. I think that's the case, or at least 1 atmosphere of 33 feet. That's as low as you're going to go probably anyway. But the video capture will be superior on a GoPro or any of the action cameras. You could get a DJI action camera, I think, for like $229, and it's going to last you for years. So if you ever go on any other vacations, you can take that, give it to your kid, or do a lot of things with it. But you're going to have you could possibly have issues by putting your phone in a bag and not having. I mean, look what Janet obviously is very well versed in it, and she had issues with it. So to me, but there's other people in the comments who said they had no problems. To me, it's not worth the chance.
Are all GoPros waterproof?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Steve. I appreciate you saying that. He says the tips, and he says, Tony, mate, thank you for all the tips and tricks. They are all very helpful, much more than what Wendy told us about our vacation. Thank you for making it very memorable. It was much better than what Wendy told us. Again, he said, I don't know why he mentioned that twice, but we had a fantastic time. Thanks, Steve. You're welcome. I kill myself. Wendy, while you're on here, did you want to talk about your room and board, your second room you're going to be renting out to members, or you want to wait until you get closer to your actual move-in date? All right, Janet, there was one other thing they wanted to mention, or they wanted to have me ask you about, was your Lantern Festival experience. How was that? And
well, as you know, it was amazing. And I have to say, it was definitely one of the best experiences that I have ever had in Hawaii. And that's going some, because
wow, that's crazy.
And well, first of all, it was something that I needed to do. Once I saw your live stream, by the way, from last year, is when I said, I got to do that. And that's why this year I made arrangements to book, fly, and be there for it. And then, of course, schlep on over there and go through all of that. And then I was like so lucky to have had Shane and Yvette just help me out and just support me emotionally, I guess, and actually physically at some point, to get through that day. It's a long day, and it's an emotional day, but it's such a powerful experience. If you can do it, I would suggest everybody do it. It just, you come away with such a good feeling. And I needed to get rid of the grief that I've been carrying since my husband died. And I've not been able to do that. And the Lantern Festival did that for me. And I am forever grateful to Shane and Yvette for all of their support, because I kind of think back now, like what I've gotten through that all by myself, because it was heavy for a while. But I would say, do your research. Go. They have they're on Facebook. Go through their website and read about it. It's very professionally done. It's spiritual. It's such a beautiful, as you know, Tony, such a beautiful setting. And when you're in an environment where by the way, there was 60,000 people there this year. I finally got the numbers from Shinyo. And
I believe it.
When you're in that environment with that many people kind of going through the same thing that you're going through and looking for closure or looking for something, And I know it's all symbolic. I mean, there's no magic in this. I know it's symbolic, but if you go there with the mindset that you're committing to the symbolism, that you're going to float this lantern and bam, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen for you. And that's what I did. I was committed to getting through this one way or the other. I didn't care if I face planted in the ocean at that point. I was going to get through this. And you know what, Tony, I want you to repeat that segment you did on do something difficult, because I really think a lot of people will benefit from that. I cannot even tell you how much I've gotten from that one segment. And that was how long ago? Like over a year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the things that I did because of that segment.
Yeah.
And
I remember
the Lantern Festival was do something difficult. And it was difficult. So, but it was the best. It's a long day because you have to go early in the morning. You have to wait in line. It's hot. The line was like, I don't know, it was probably at least a mile long in front of us. And Yvette and Shane, they were right there, right next to me. And you have to wait in line to get into the tent where you get your lantern. Then you have to build your lantern. It's like a Lego project, for crying out loud. And you have to figure that out. And you build your lantern, and then you have 4 sides to it. I believe I did a post that showed the 4 sides.
Yeah.
And and you get decorated any way you want. There's parameters that you have to abide by. Like you can't put a lei on it. You can't put anything flammable. You can put pictures, but you have to tape them on. You can't put anything extra on it because it'll catch fire. And Shane was with me when we saw one catch fire because somebody had put all kinds of garbage on it, leis and all kinds of stuff. And it literally went ablaze. And it was dangerous because then it caught fire. There was a bunch that got caught in the net out there as they flowed out. There was one that went on fire, and then boom, the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth. It's like 6 in a row that went on fire because of one person sticking junk on it. But anyway, so you decorate your lantern, and when you're done, you're free to leave until the ceremony, which is about, I think, 6 o'clock at night. We all gathered again. And so we went back to the hotel and just kind of chilled. And I don't even remember what I did that afternoon, to be honest. And then we Ubered out at night. And again, they were right by my side. And they Ubered with me, and we went out. And it was tough because all the streets are blocked off. And even getting out of there that night was tough because the Uber couldn't even get in there to pick us up. We had to walk, I don't know how many blocks to get the Uber. But be prepared for the crowds, and be prepared to wait in long lines. Be prepared for a long day. And if you just know that, you can get through it. And if you're lucky enough to have friends like Yvette and Jane, you'll get through it better. But then you go back, and the ceremony starts. It's again, it's beautifully done. And they have 2 huge jumbotrons on the beach that you can see everything that's being filmed by Shinyo. And of course, they have a stage. I was way at the right-hand side, so I could not see the stage to save my life, but I could see it on the jumbotron. And there's a bunch of cameramen from Shinyo roaming all around, as I found out later. And of course, there's like a dozen drones in the sky, and there's all kinds of filming going on. But it's a solemn event, and it depends on literally where you're standing and who's around you. Because at one point, I thought we were standing in the middle of a party crowd. There was there's a girl that's taken off her clothes, and she's got a bikini on with hiney floss. And she's, she's going to float a lantern. Yay. And they're all like happy. They're laughing. And I'm like, wait a second. Am I in the wrong crowd here? But then it changed, and it was more solemn. And there were, like you have explained, there's people, you see people that have, lost children, people that have lost their parents and lost whatever. And it's very emotional. And I know some people on here know that I'm an empath. I feel other people's pain, and I've proven that a few times with some people in the group, and it's just amazing how powerful that is when you're physically there and you see them take those outriggers out that have all of the lanterns on them that have the write-in. You can write into Shinyu and have a lantern floated for you. And they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lanterns on each of those outriggers. And I think there was 10 or 12 outriggers. So they go past you. That's how they start the floating part of the ceremony. And it's so powerful and it's so amazing just to witness it. You know, some people maybe wouldn't think it's a big deal, but it was really very emotional. I think powerful is the best word I could use to describe it. And but it's beautifully done. It's not religious, but it's beautifully presented spiritually. And the volunteers that are from Shinyu are absolutely amazing. They don't get paid. They do this. Most of them do it year in and year out. Whether they help in the tent, they help you build this thing, or they help with the line, they help with the write-ins, they help with the cleanup, they help with, actually, I've been following them and they're still scrubbing down the bases of the lanterns. I was talking to one of the volunteers who actually worked at my hotel, and she was telling me that about the service that they have when, you know, these things really don't go out to sea. People go, oh, you know, you're messing up the environment. They don't go out to sea. They have a net out there. They catch them all, and then they put them in the boats, and then they bring them back. They take them to a site. They dismantle them, and they have a spiritual ceremony to respectfully burn all of the lantern panels. And it's a very nice, and again, it's done with such respect. And I believe there are Buddhist priests that are there that assist with it. And it's it's just so nice the way they do it. And all of the volunteers were so wonderful. And, you know, they're dealing with thousands of people who are grieving. Man, I don't want that job. I mean, kudos to them.
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
amazing. And they were all wonderful. And that night, you know, they have all these volunteers standing along the water's edge, and they're holding up little signs so that they're not too intrusive. And it says, wait to light your candle, wait to float your boat, and the whole thing. Yeah. So you have to wait for one of the Shinyu volunteers to come to you with a lighter and light your candle. And then you can float your candle for your lantern when you're ready. And I did when I was ready. And thank you again, Shane and Yvette. I couldn't have done it without you guys, I swear to God. It was amazing. And they helped me really get the most out of that experience that I could ever have thought I could get out of it. And I'm happy I did it. Would I do it again? I don't think I need to. If I'm ever there when it's going on, of course I would do it again or go back and, you know, help out or do something. But I feel that I've accomplished my do something difficult task at that moment. And I would suggest it to anybody who feels that they have a grief burden that they need to lift. And that's why I was willing to include going to Hawaii members on my lantern, because I take that stuff serious. You know that. And because I know there's other people in this group that have shared with me what they're going through privately. And I wanted them to feel what I was feeling as far as the relief or the knowing that your prayers are being out there with respect, etc. So that's why I definitely went the extra mile to include going to Hawaii people on my lantern. And, you know, I even put Lucy on there last minute when you said to me, is Lucille on there? I even put Lucille on there. So right there standing on the beach, got out the pen and did it. And because it matters. I mean, it matters to me to be a decent human being to other people. And I hope that whoever had their initials on there, and that, by the way, includes everybody, that they felt what I felt as a result of it, because it was important to me to share that with all of you, and to have you feel some relief as well, because I know not everybody could jump on a plane and go out there. I mean, I even thought, am I crazy? I'm flying 5,000 miles, going through how many thousands of dollars to float a lantern? And I said, heck yeah. I had to do it. And I'm happy I did it. And I thank you, Tony, for doing the live stream the year before and showing it, because I had never heard of it, ever heard of it. All the years I've been going there, I've never heard of it. And this was the 27th year. So I don't know. I was hanging with the wrong crowd, I guess. I don't know. But I was grateful to you for exposing me to the whole thing. And then grateful to you and Yvette and Shane for propping me up and helping me out. Yep. And it was wonderful. That's all I could say. It was wonderful. The minute I let that lantern go, I felt lifted. I felt lifted. And that's the only word I could describe how I felt. I felt lifted. I felt relieved. I'm looking at watermelon at the same time I'm talking. I'm telling you, I'm watching this and listening to you, and I'm like,
and a pineapple. I'm
disconnect.
That homeless guy. Well, Janet, you know, you did something that. Well, one thing I was going to say is that entire experience is non-denominational. It's not, you know, Buddhist. What it's very. You said the right word. It's very symbolic. Yes. And so when you know what does it take for you to get rid of grief? You do what you need to do to get rid of grief. Everybody does it a different way, but if you can do it in a way that's symbolic, and even people on here that are saying they weren't even in Hawaii, but they knew you put their initials for their pets or their family members, and they knew that when you let it go and they watched it on the live stream or you know watched people doing it on the live stream, it just the fact that they did that and you did that release, it helped them. And I get it. Really when you're so many people are on it, probably 8 or 10 people already said, thank you for putting my initials on there. And
I haven't been able to read the comments, so I'm sorry.
That's hard. Well, when you're there and you're in the middle of it, it's like being in church. You know, you may be in a different mindset, but when you go into any kind of a church or temple or whatever, mosque, whatever, anyway, whatever, you get kind of overwhelmed because there's the music, the atmosphere, and people are almost in a singular mindset. And many people at the Lantern Festival are there to let go of grief. People passed away, things of that nature. So they're almost on the same level. There are some people that are happy and celebrating things. That's a little, if you understand why they're doing it, you respect that too. Yes. But they can get a little loud. But for the 90% of the people there, they're there to let grief go. And you're there within, like on one side, there's a little boy and a little girl holding a lantern with their passed away father picture on it, talking to their mother. I would rather get beaten up with a bat than have to go through that again. It is the worst. Big time. It did. Oh, I'm just standing there and I'm literally crying, holding the camera. And then on the other side, there's a teenage girl that's there with their father talking about their mother who had just passed away from breast cancer, just like not long ago. And 2 weeks is too long or something like that. And you're just like, you got to be kidding me. And when they put their lantern in there, you know, they start doing their prayer, their grief, whatever. It is emotionally taxing. And when you leave from there, I was walking back, I'm like, man, I am spent. And I didn't even put out a lantern and all that. I want to say one more thing. So before we wrap it up, someone was asking about, do they set them on fire? They don't, but sometimes they can catch on fire. That's why they limit the elements that you could put on your lantern, but they just light the little candle and then they go out, and just sometimes they tip over, maybe catch on fire, but they don't catch them on fire. They capture a huge percentage of them and they rebuild them for the next year.
They capture all of them because they actually have structures out there beyond where they have that big net. There's a big net, and when you build your lantern, they have, I think they call it a keel. It's a long plastic thing about, I don't know, it's a sturdy plastic about a foot long that you have to stick through your lantern and it sticks down and has a hook on the bottom, and everything gets caught in this net. And they actually have the boats right there to collect them after a while. And then they actually have surfers beyond the netting in case anything does get through, that they can capture them. Nothing gets by, nothing. So that's good to know. And so many people don't know that, you know, in the comments. And so everything is good. The universe will go on, and nothing is destroying the ocean. It's just so well done. It's so well organized. It's amazing. I mean, I can multitask, and when I was working for the airlines, I used to handle multi-level events with no problem. But when I saw how Shinyu does it, I was like, I love it.
Yeah.
That was like, they're my idols. They get it right, you know, and they've been doing it for a long time, but they know what they're doing and they do it well. Yeah. So if you have the opportunity, do it.
I think one of the things I said it a minute ago, but I want to just reemphasize it because I didn't finish the comment, was it is about symbolism. Yes. And when people can have you, Janet, put their initials on that lantern and then you put it out there, that symbolism, just like symbolism in anything, you know, flags and emblems and initials, that means something, especially when we put a lot of feeling behind it. So I appreciate that you put initials on it. People are saying, I'm glad you put my grandmother on there, my pets, my dog, and everybody has a different way of releasing it. And I'm telling you, if you have a chance to do this type of thing with this Lantern Festival, it's very, very difficult to do something that's more powerful than that, because you have the beating rhythm, and the music that's over and over and over, and then they play the flying over of the lanterns with the drone footage and the beautiful music and the little kids singing. Those little kids that are up there on it's just beautiful. So it's a great thing to do, and I hope everybody gets a chance to do it. All right, guys, we are right.
Many tears were shed on that beach that night.
Oh, for sure. All right, we are right at the 2-hour mark, 1 hour and 59 minutes, which is double the time I said we were going to go. But I think we accomplished a lot. I think we did a lot of good things. If you guys, seriously, I want to know if you like the format. I'll get better at it, because I actually did not really have time to do a lot of it. But if you like the segmentation about doing current events, updates on some going to Hawaii giveaways, and then the tips about travel, and then current events and that type of thing. If you like that segmented presentation, and if let me know. If you don't, seriously, you're not going to offend me. It's going to be a lot less work for me. If you like us having the video playing on in the background, I know we're showing me eating pineapple and watermelon and kombucha. If you like those, if you don't like it, seriously, list them in the comments. Send a private message saying it's stupid, I don't like it, do more of it, do less of it, whatever, any of your ideas. Hopefully next week I'm going to have at least one tour provider and a guest on. Then the next week I'm going to have no one on the next week, but the week after that, the fourth week, I will have for sure a cool guest. I'm sure all of you guys are going to like. And that's it. All right, Janet, I appreciate you coming on. You saved it again. That coward Lance didn't come on. I don't know what's up with him.
Tony, I got your back. Right?
I appreciate that. And one last thing, you guys are on the Instagram yesterday. I'm learning about Instagram, that if you do a live stream on Instagram, which by the way, that video quality was incredible. So was audio. You have to save it. Well, there's some technical things you have to do. You have to save it and archive it. So if you've gone on to Instagram to look for that video, it's not there, and it's not on the Facebook page either. So I've learned a couple of things about Instagram, so I'll know what to do on the next one. This is totally experimental. I do not have a strong commitment to Instagram. The last thing I need is one more platform to maintain. But if there's ways that we can stream to Instagram and to YouTube and Facebook, then we'll do that. But we are for sure going to stick with Facebook and YouTube for right now. Hopefully all the bugs are worked out of YouTube, and we may do a live stream later today, just down to do a little test. But I don't know, but we will for sure do one tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we will talk to you later. Thanks for joining. Like and share if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye-bye.